As I'm talking about this, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get you some really awesome content. Any suggestions you have for videos that you want us to shoot, let us know. We'll shoot a video just for you. Actually, this video is for one of the comments that we had as far as how often do you change your filters. So actually, this video was for someone that left a comment. So hit like and subscribe. Tell us if you have any ideas for videos, and on to the video. What's up, guys? So here's the deal. We had a no start on the truck today, and when you're the business owner and you get a call from a driver, and you're going to get it, you're going to get problems, you're going to have constantly throughout the day. As your business gets bigger, you're going to have more and more problems that you have to extinguish. We call them problems, or you want to call them issues, or if you want to call them opportunities. I like to call them opportunities because when you have a problem, you have a customer calling you, you have an opportunity to make that customer happy. As a business owner, as you get calls from your drivers, and that's who you're going to mostly field a complaint or an issue or a question from, is your drivers. They'll give you a call on the phone, and in this case, it was a call from the driver that had no start, and that's why I'm holding a fuel filter. And today's video is going to be the importance of fielding a problem, how you handle it, and what I can't express more than anything, more important, is your supply chain of your parts that you need for your trucks. Your maintenance and your parts for your truck are paramount to running a healthy company, and to run a company that is going to be just an easily managed situation no matter what would come up. And you're going to see in the video just how incredible our supply chain how our supply chain operates, and how fast we got a truck back on the road today. And we owe some props to the local supply house. They're awesome. So we're gonna show you how the day panned out today.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Hunter Truck Allentown. How may I direct your call?
Parts, please.
One moment, please.
Hunter Truck, this is Shane. How can I help you today?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? I have a no start on my truck, and I need a fuel filter and a water filter as well, like the pre-filter for the truck. Can you help me out with that?
Yeah, of course. Let me just look it up here quick.
And can you check your records to see what my other trucks, if they're due for a filter as well too?
Yeah, just give me one moment here.
Thanks, buddy.
Alright, by the looks of it here, it shows your one truck could use another filter here. Do you want me to send that along with the...
Absolutely.
Fuel and water separator?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for keeping accurate records, because Lord knows I need the help sometimes. Since I have a no start, I'm not rushing you, but how long do you think until you can have a filter down here for me?
Looks like I have a truck within the area. It could probably be 15, 20 minutes.
Man, I love it.
Have it on your desk.
Oh, my word, man. Yeah, can you just give it to the shop foreman and I'll get it off the shelf?
Yeah, we can do that for you.
Man, I appreciate it. Thanks for being Johnny on the spot for me.
No problem.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys, so here it is. We got a backup filter for the next time this problem happens. We have also a backup filter for another truck. I'll probably just go ahead and swap it out. I wanted to go over some things with the filter, a fuel filter particularly. You got the fuel filter, and then you got your filter water separator. And these are some Fleet Guard filters. These are real popular. Pretty much if you run a truck, you know what a fuel filter is, and you know what a fuel pre-filter water separator is. Nothing new, but the handling and the proper installation not only helps the truck, but it'll help you remove it once you're done with it, and it's used its useful life on the truck, protecting your fuel system. When you're installing the filters on the truck and you're handling the filters, you never want to take the filters out of the plastic until you're ready to use the actual filter. If you take the filter out of the plastic, what'll happen is everything has a useful life. And if you live in a really humid area and you live in a dusty environment, or you have it in a dusty environment, you'll deplete the useful life of the filter. So leave the filters wrapped up until you're ready to use it. It keeps the humidity and the contaminants out, whether it's humidity and or airborne contaminants. So always leave them wrapped up until you're ready to use the filter. As I'm talking about this, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get you some really awesome content. Any suggestions you have for videos that you want us to shoot, let us know. We'll shoot a video just for you. Actually, this video is for one of the comments that we had as far as how often do you change your filters. So actually, this video was for someone that left a comment. So hit like and subscribe. Tell us if you have any ideas for videos. As far as how often we change the filters, I've heard people say 3,000 miles, and that's too much. If you're having trouble after 3,000 miles, you got a bad load of fuel. We will change both filters at between 3,000 and 7,000 miles. We try not to go longer than that. If you did, which we don't know if we got a bad load of fuel this time, but you definitely want to keep it between 3,000 and 7,000 miles. And more in the wintertime. If you're going to get some cold weather and you're going to get a cold snap, you might want to do it after the 3,000 miles because you're only going to help yourself. If you're going to be, and especially if you're going on the road, if you're going cross country or you're a long haul trucker, definitely do it sooner than the 7,000 miles. Now, if you're a long haul trucker, I know you're going to say 7,000 miles. I could do that in a week, but hey, it's your call. If you're in Idaho somewhere and you don't have a $20 filter, you're going to wish you did it. So we'll be unscrewing the filter. You never want to use a filter wrench when you're unscrewing the filter. You'll damage the filter. If you use a filter wrench that goes around the filter, you'll crack the filter. So you always want to use a socket, and the socket screws onto the bottom of the filter. So that's how you want to unscrew a filter. That's the only approved way to take a filter off, unless you could just use brute force with your hands. But never use a filter wrench that wraps around the filter. That you'll destroy the filter, it'll crack, and you'll compromise the filter. Changing that filter with the white sticker on it is the one we're going to be unscrewing. I know everyone thinks that they know all the steps to put on this filter, but I bet you if you listen, you may pick something up that is pretty helpful. So on the fleet guard specifically, you want to unwrap it from the container. The first thing you want to do is when you get the filter, you want to inspect it to make sure it wasn't damaged or dropped and that the actual housing isn't compromised. I've actually had these hit the ground when it was really cold and shatter. Now, granted, it was a pretty hard drop, but I did have one of these shatter one time. I always check to make sure the guys didn't drop it or didn't get crushed or what have you. As the video specifies, you don't want to throw this cap away. I've seen more than one person unwrap this and take this and throw it away. Don't do that. You need this cap. This cap is not for shipping. It's not to keep it safe or to stop it from hitting the... I used to think that this would stop if it hit the ground. What this cap is for is you leave it on there, and if you notice these little four, what you do is you leave that cap on, and you pour fuel over the cap. And what that does is that pours fuel to the dirty side of the filter. So when you are looking inside the filter, the fuel will go into this side of the filter, and then the fuel goes into the engine out of this part of the filter. So fuel goes into this part of the filter and gets brought out to the engine under pressure, under suction, high pressure. So you want to leave this on, you fill the fuel up, the fuel goes to the dirty side of the filter. Now, when you have possible contaminated fuel coming out of your fill tank, you will not get contaminants going directly into your filter. I read somewhere a lot of the engine problems that you have when you get a nose start or you get engine codes are from particulates or contaminants that are from your fuel tank that you use to fill up a fuel filter. So if you don't keep this cap on and you got a 5-gallon bucket or a remote fill that you would use to fill these up, which you have to have, you could have contaminants in that fill container. And what that'll do is that will filter to a finer micron, the filter go into your engine, and you won't get contaminants clogging up your fuel injectors. That's a lot of the problems that you will have, is that people putting bad fuel into the center of the filter and throwing that away. So I'm telling you, if you remove this cap and you throw it away, I promise you, don't do that. Keep it on, use it properly, read the side of of the fuel filter. It tells you right on there to do that. I'm not some, crazy cuckoo brain giving you the wrong instructions. It says it right on the filter. So if you do that and you take that extra step when you're filling your fuel filter, I promise you, you'll get less problems of clogged injectors, and it'll just be an all-around healthier fuel system. This is the fuel oil water separator we're gonna be putting this on as well. So I'm gonna open it up. Now, if you notice, same thing. You're gonna have a center cap, and you're gonna have you'll put the fuel in, and then you take your center cap off. Then you can oil your gaskets and put it on there. And yes, you still want to oil your gaskets, and don't get the diesel so far to the top that it takes the diesel off the gaskets. But yes, you do want to oil the gaskets. Every once in a while, you do want to drain your water out of your filter. You want to get fuel samples. I do fuel samples for two reasons. I want to know, number one, am I getting water in my tank? If I'm getting water in the tank, I may alter where I get fuel from until they can get a new load of fuel. I've actually had 2 loads of bad fuel from one station that we go to all the time, and we actually would not go there for a week or two, let them empty their tank out, and then get another load of fuel in. I don't know if that helps or not, but it makes us feel like we're actually trying to be proactive and keep our tanks healthy. One thing I wanted to mention is in the winter, they do use anti-gel compounds in the fuel, and in the summertime they don't. And it depends on your area when they'll start phasing out the winter fuel versus the summer fuel. And don't forget to add your additive into the fuel. We add the additive into the fuel when it's 30 degrees or colder. We don't put the additive into the fuel all the time. We just feel like it builds up the cystine, or I believe it's, I don't know how to pronounce the word, but I don't like to build up that octane too high, because the heat and the compression will also increase. So I like to run just standard fuel as long as possible. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I don't like to add the additives unless we don't have to. I just feel like it's not good for the engine. I could be wrong about that. I don't know enough about it to give an opinion. That's just the way we do it. In the wintertime, you'll get a lot of you'll get a lot of contaminants. Diesel fuel actually has what I would refer to as a waxy substance in it. So as it gets colder, the wax and it gels will stick to the fuel filter. And that's why we had a problem today, is because what I think has happened, it got warmer today. It's 60, 65 degrees. We had a no start. Something changed because of the warmer weather. So that's why I believe we had to change this prematurely, or we got a bad load of fuel. Keep up on your fuel filter. It's really simple. You're basically just screwing these off and you're screwing them on. It's really important to keep these things up to date. It's an easy fix. It takes minutes to do. And if you just do it properly and you fill them up with fuel, it takes 15 minutes. Just dispose of the fuel. Like when you have this full, dispose of it properly. Just don't dump it on the ground. Just, have a container that you can use as old fuel, and, be friendly to the environment with the stuff that comes out of the filter. Don't forget, you want to have a waste fuel bin as well too. So that's about it, guys. I'm sure you learned something today. If you didn't, leave a comment and tell me how I'm crazy. But please don't forget, hit like and subscribe, and we're here for you.